everybody. This is Saline County Hardliners back at you again. We've been kind of on a hiatus here. Been not around lately because, well, on Thursday nights we kind of had a long holiday because Christmas and New Year's were on Thursdays, so we didn't have shows then, and so we've been off for a little bit. But we're back. In fact, we're going to have we kind of got it filled up to interview candidates from here till early voting February 16th. So it should be every Thursday we have a good candidate. Most of them we've had on before. We're going to have them back on to kind of refresh everything because we're fixing to go into early voting February 16th. Primary is March 3rd, so it's coming up on us real quick. And we got Mike Shnaekel with us. We got me and Kevan are running tonight, and we got Mike Shnaekel. If he can stay in his seat, we got him on board tonight. And we're gonna talk about mainly about what's going on in Venezuela. Where's that going? And if everybody didn't know, on January 3rd, we did a pretty extensive operation in Caracas, Venezuela, to capture Maduro, and everybody's complaining, but you know what? He's lucky he's not dead. We took him alive. They could have very well just took him out, but that's another story. But we're going to kind of talk about where is that going to go, in our opinions. None of us know, and how that's going to affect our country. And then just, it's going nuts here in this country. So we kind of want to talk about that. So I don't know what happened to Mike.
I'm here.
Okay. Where you at?
Do you have me?
No, you're not sitting in your chair.
I am sitting in my chair.
Your videos,
Let me see.
I think.
I see. Hold on. I will here in just 1 second. It's got me back now. Look, hey, technical difficulties. It shows we've been off a little bit.
See, now you're sitting
a little
in your
lag.
chair.
It's okay.
I thought you was a ghost.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of people think
Invisible man. The invisible man sitting in his chair.
You know, and on Venezuela, I want people to, for one, people are going to say, what do you guys have that you can speak on Venezuela? Well, I want to tell you a little bit of background about myself. I'm a 4-year veteran of the Marine Corps, 10-year veteran of the U.S. Army, retired in December of 17, medically due to some injuries, and worked within the special operations community almost my entire Army career. Keith is a veteran of the Navy, and Kevin's a veteran of the Navy. We've all been different parts of different type of mission sets, asymmetrical type of warfare throughout the world that I've been involved on. And there's some things with the Maduro that, we did a great job there. We got in and out of there with not one casualty on the United States side. And that's saying a lot for the professionalism of our U.S. military and the soldiers that were chosen to go act on that mission, and the professionalism that we have within the special warfare groups. So,
well, unlike the Afghanistan debacle, it was just the opposite. It showed what we can do when ran efficiently, not what we can't do when you got an idiot running the show. So I'm hoping everybody kind of looks and say, hey, we're back,
Yeah. Professionalism and preparation, came together that night. And I'm sure they ran through that mission multiple times. I did reach out. I talked to Keith the other day, and I was stationed with U.S. Army South for a little while, and the NCOIC of the detachment there. We have one of the most proficient Delta units in the world that is stationed right there at Camp Bullis in San Antonio, which I'm sure operated on that mission. But man, they done a phenomenal job. They captured.
They did say Delta Force was involved.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job capturing him. I kind of expected a little bit of Venezuelan military attempts this week. So far, that hasn't happened, and I think that boils down to what you said earlier, Keith, was that mission showed exactly what we're capable of. And I think it struck a lot of fear in world leaders that, hey, America, military wise, under this staff is back.
Well,
And
he warned, he told him that something was going to happen. Of course, that's one thing I love about Donald Trump, other than most other presidents in recent history, was that he doesn't tell his hand before he doesn't show his hand. And Obama leaked everything he was going to do. Biden leaked everything they're going to do, and which is stupidity.
And I've talked about it a couple of times. I got the opportunity to visit with Donald Trump when he was elected the first term in April of 2017. And the one thing that I said to him while I was there and was able to speak directly to the president, vice president, at the time, the Joint Chiefs of Staff was General Milley, that we were all in the same room. And I said one very simple thing to him: we're your military. We will do what you send us to do. Just make sure you allow us to finish our mission when we go do something, and allow us to conduct that mission within our parameters of what we know and what we're professional with. And
General Milley didn't listen to you.
No, General Milley, and I thought the world of General Milley at the time, because he used to be the SOCOM commander, when he was in Mons, Belgium. But he strongly let me down toward the end of Donald Trump's first term.
I expect that out of Biden. I expect that out of Obama. But I cannot fathom how a man with his experience and his combat experience and his time in the service, how he can even, I don't know how you can do that. How you can be that. That's so disappointing.
Yeah, it floored me. And we've had some carry-on things that have happened, since the removal of Maduro down there. And his wife, I think we're losing that his wife was also taken at the time. And, they were picked up for narco-terrorism, which we've talked about this many a times, with the declaration of war that we done on the war on terror. It kind of opened the doors on some things like this to happen, and today, I don't know if people were paying attention, but the Senate, I believe, failed a resolution to let Donald Trump continue with his powers, because you have 90 days. A sitting president, if he wasn't able to tie this to any World Powers Act, has 90 days to either request a declaration of war on a country, which we don't need to declare war on Venezuela now. We've removed the leader, and we're all concerned with who is going to be the new leader there, because the United States is very good at inputting people that have failed us down the road. And we can look on that. Muammar Gaddafi, we put him in, Saddam Hussein, the United States put him in. I think we're going to be a whole lot more careful under.
The job's not finished either by any means.
Yeah,
the way it's finished. Because there's a lot of bad guys still. It's never just one man. They did get the main dude, but there's still, somebody else could rise up. But we got to be able to take care of that.
Maduro is the puppet that has allowed things down there to happen. When you have a country that's in the shape of Venezuela right now, and its gross national product is two things: oil and drugs.
I heard the wife's family ran the show more than he did.
That is appearing to be the case right now as more information comes out. And, and after Maduro, I think we'd be remiss to not talk about the reflagging of a Venezuelan ship.
Tell us a little bit about that, because I heard about it. You were talking about it earlier when I was talking to you, which I know that it was seized by U.S. Navy, I'm assuming, I think.
It was actually seized by the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard. And I don't know if people understand international waters.
Was it not out to sea, though?
It was out to sea, but because of the way the ship was flagged and in international waters and the interdiction on it, the Navy assisted the Coast Guard in it, but the Coast Guard was the one who done the interdiction, which is the way it's supposed to be honest with you, because the Coast Guard handles all ship interdictions like that outside of a wartime crisis and a wartime combatant type interaction. that is the Coast Guard's mission.
And it was Venezuelan oil on a Venezuelan tanker
Well,
with Russian flag going to Russia, right?
the tanker.
Go ahead.
Kevin, can you have that pulled up real quick?
I can look it up, but hey, the thing about that Russian flag on that is they were painting it on as they were getting captured.
Yeah, and painting. There's a movie that does that, and I can't remember the name of the movie, where they're literally painting the back of the ship.
Oh, Lord of War. I love
yeah,
that movie.
renaming. Because they renamed the ship because that ship was initially between Greenland and the UK when the United States first intercepted, or its beacon went off showing it in international waters. So the Navy started tracking that ship and was on a course to interact with it, and they turned back up. They went silent. They went black again. Next thing you know, the ship pops up, I believe, in port. And I'll let Kevin pull that up because I don't have it up in front of me because the ship was named. Hold on 1 second, and I'll tell you real quick.
I'm trying to pull it up right now. It's taking a minute.
Yeah.
I sure already had that up. My bad.
No, that's my fault because that was one of the things.
Well, while he's pulling it up, I want to say one thing. I am for, and I don't know what the consensus has been. I haven't heard what the decision's going to be, and I know it would be a problem to a lot of politicians. But I'm for, they're talking about taking their oil and all that, but not let Venezuelan oil go to Russia or China. Period.
Well, that was the main goal right there, is to keep
period.
Out of China.
I don't mean sell it to them and we get the money. I meant don't deal with them at all. Cut them off.
Well, people got to understand that we have an embargo right now, and that wasn't just the United States embargo. That had to be something that went through the UN and went through the nations to enact embargo. That's not just a United States thing. That is a world thing, that embargo. But the name of that ship,
but nobody else pays the attention to it.
Yeah, the ship was originally named the Bella One, which was a Venezuelan ship.
Right.
And they tried to circumvent the embargo, and Russia come in and flagged.
You froze up.
Is it reflagged?
There you go.
There he is.
And that was an attempt to avoid the embargo. And they
thought that it wouldn't be bothered if it had a Russian flag on it.
Absolutely, because the embargo isn't against Russia right now.
But we can't play that game no more. We can't pay attention to who the hell. I don't care whose flag's on it. It doesn't need to be going to Russia.
Well, and the ship, when it was intercepted, it had some oil on it, but it was very little oil. And they're saying there was some other items that was on that ship now. We all know that China would like for Venezuela to have nuclear weapons, especially.
Absolutely, just like Cuba.
Yeah, because Venezuela would be a short-range system that would be more targeted if they could put those in at Venezuela. And it would benefit Russia to have Venezuela have weapons that can reach the United States as a deterrent for the United States to intercede in the war between Ukraine and Russia right now. And then China also would like for that to happen, which we all know that China and Russia are in bed together and want to see the end of the United States. There's a good video right there, Kevin, that you're...
And they don't want to be in bed together, but they need to be in bed together.
This one right here?
But my question is, no, the one that has the helicopter in front of the ship, I think it shows some of the boarding.
No, down. You're right there. Whoa, right there.
We do not want Venezuela to have any military power that reaches any portion of U.S. soil.
No.
Or any member of our NATO alliance or this hemisphere from the North Pole to the South Pole to the tip of...
Well, whether people like it or not, there's no doubt he's trying to develop a dominance of the Western Hemisphere. And that's for our own safety. That's what people don't,
Well, there's something else I want to talk about.
Because, he's trying to do it from Arctic to Antarctica,
The world is looking at us right now as very weak because right now we have a lot of inter-country turmoil in the country. And I'm not going to say Republican, Democrat, liberal versus conservative. What we have right now happening in the United States is an attempt to overthrow our constitutional republic
Absolutely.
and see it destroyed. They want our Constitution to be completely nullified, and law enforcement in the United States now is so in fear of doing something wrong or being we have got to stop the Somali run over. We have got to stop the Islamic run over.
I'm just sick of that to no means.
Is.
I'm sick about this Minneapolis crap. That was that was justified. I mean, if you don't like the punishment, don't do it.
Look,
Stay home. They said, well, she's a mother with kids. She should have been home with her kids, not out there ramming police
Her wife
cars.
is the one who told her to be out there doing that mess.
Yeah.
we're frustrated.
So we've about lost Minnesota. We've lost New York City. I mean, there's places we're losing a little at a time. They're trying to rapidly take Texas, which they're having an event, I believe, tomorrow night.
Well, Minneapolis,
save Texas, but you don't want to have to be like Europe. Europe's going to have to fight their way out of Islamic dominance.
England is close.
If they ever do.
England,
they're done.
Ireland's already on fire doing that right now.
It's too late. It's too late to do it peacefully. It's too late to do it peacefully. It's gonna end up being, people talk about freedom of religion. Yeah, I totally believe in freedom. I think you should be able to, practice any religion you want to. It makes you feel better. But not dominance, where you want to control the whole, people say, well, Christians control. No, we don't. We don't control anything.
Well, that's why we have separation of church and state. That's the problem right there. That's why Islamists are actually trying to.
They don't believe in that.
Like
they
that.
believe church and state's the same thing.
Well, our problem in the United States right now is we have a separation of fact and fiction.
Absolutely. People understand Muslims.
That if you want to boil everything down right now, there is a complete loss of truth and facts in mainstream media. And I wasn't one of these people that were bashing the media 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 8 years ago.
I've been bashing a long time.
Like that, but I don't watch mainstream media.
I've been bashing them since 1991.
Yeah, very rarely do I get on an ABC, NBC, CBS, or anything like that because it's just trash. I get most of my media from social media, and I look at some open source reports daily, with military, where military's at, and where ship movements and stuff like that you're allowed to look at, because it gives me an idea to form an opinion on geopolitical policies, which Venezuela's going to have a big geopolitical fallout. And we've got to follow up fast because right now
things are changing quick.
Honduras, Nicaragua, Cuba, Colombia, El Salvador. All of your South American countries, Argentina. Man, we better tighten the rope, and we better tighten it fast because Russia and China is doing everything they can to get in as fast as they can. And they already in South America, is the number 2 training ground in the world for ISIS or terror training, period. Boko Haram, anything you can name, does a lot of its training and bringing its people up through South America because of the drug trade, narco terrorism. And it just is what it is. People can call it whatever they want.
Do you think people are naive enough to think that China is in trying to get a fast foothold in South America?
Well,
you think people are that damn stupid to think
I do.
That's not what they're doing? I know that. That's what they're doing.
Look at the history of fentanyl. Look where fentanyl is really coming from right now. And if you're a country that doesn't want to declare war on the United States, knowing our freedoms and the drug problems we have here, how do you decrease citizenship in the United States? You kill them through COVID. You kill them through drug overdoses. You create the narrative that divides the country. They're succeeding in the United States right now. I'm just telling you.
I mean, the geopolitical scene in the whole world is changing right now rapidly, and it's going to continue to change. It's at a point of no return. Now, where that's going to lead, I don't know. It's going to lead to something uglier than we got, but because we got look at all the problems we have. We got China problems. We got Russia. We got China-Taiwan problems. We got basically South China Sea problems. We got Pacific Rim problems. We got Korea problems. We got Eastern European problems. And we got tons of internal problems.
The problem is we became the world police. Right now, United States needs to do everything we can do to secure our hemisphere.
Absolutely. That's number one.
Trump's trying to do. That's why he's
all
doing
the
the
way
Monroe. That's why
I've had the thought of this. There's still the rumor of Chinese war with the West, or Chinese-Russian war, World War III, basically, in the next few years, in the not so distant future.
The 2027 mandate.
Yeah, that's what they say. Okay, by 2030 or whatever it may be. I mean, and Trump and these people know this is coming, and I do think they're trying to kind of position. I mean, say that we went to war with China, and China's got a total foothold in South America. That's a bad boo-boo if you have a war with them, and they have a foothold here with the sleeper cells you have here in this country that haven't even rose up yet. People don't know what kind of damn problem that is.
I mean, know about the secret police they have in California, right?
So I think he's trying to consolidate the Western Hemisphere a bit for that situation.
Let me ask both of you this question. I mean, I obviously think a lot of Donald Trump. I don't agree with him on every single thing he does.
Right, yeah.
Some of his rhetoric. But when it comes to...
He still listens to idiots every once in a while.
Yeah. An American and a guy who loves this country. I think J.D. Vance may be that replacement of Donald Trump.
And he tore it up today. I saw him on TV. He tore their ass up today.
But I'm going to ask you the honest question. Can he do what Donald Trump has done? Does he have the machine and the wherewithal? And I think he does.
I think he does. I think he does. And I think he would, and I think he wants to. I believe in him. I think he's a common man that's become vice president, and a conservative common man who's never been given anything in his life and understands our and he's a Marine. He's been overseas. He knows what we got, and he knows that it's precious. And I think he's worried. He sees where it's going. So, and he's tough. He has to be tough the way he grew up. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
And mentally, he's got to be tough for what he went through. So,
if somebody,
to me, he's my guy in 28. So far, he's by far, hands down, my guy in 28.
I was going to go Mike Shnaekel, 2028 president.
That's scary.
Yeah, because I wouldn't give a shit. I mean,
let me know where the bunkers are.
Yeah, look. I know who our pokers are, and I know who our runners are, and they would be running and they would be poking. But we have got to secure this hemisphere, and
we got to secure our country too.
Foreign interests is
our
doing
nation,
a very good job,
and the hemisphere.
Because right now, if people in the United States better realize that we are already being invaded right now. It is
absolutely. We've been getting invaded for the last 4 years.
While we are not military shooting at another military within our borders right now, we are at war right now. And if you don't think that, you are not paying any attention to what this is. And
look at what happened with the ICE agents today and yesterday.
And that's just the beginning.
Kevin, that an ICE agent was shot earlier today, and again, what didn't you? Or run over? Another ICE agent was run over.
Yeah, another ICE agent was attempted to run over. They didn't get hit, but they shot the drivers. It was,
and I know that shocks everybody that was in Portland, Oregon. The communist city of America.
No real information has come out on that yet on what actually happened, but it's strange.
Oh, it will.
The left just utilizing vehicles as weapons now.
They're imploding. I mean, their opinion is, and it just pisses me off to no means, is we can shoot and do whatever we want to you guys, but you don't do nothing to us because we have our rights to protest. They're absolutely right. They don't have the right to kill people and destroy property. They don't have that right. And I don't give a damn what they say. They do not have that right. And they shouldn't have that right.
Well, what these people better pray for is that police don't get fed up enough to where they say, okay, we're going to go in the building and we're going to take a knee, because what happens next is not going to be nice, because the un-American side, the domestic terrorists right now that are in this country has no idea about.
Oh, wow. I got some more information on that thing now. Here, let me pull this thing up.
Yeah,
it's a lot more. It's a lot different than that. Let's see. Hold on. I think it's the same story.
Well, while you're looking at that, I'm gonna say something quick. I don't know when. I'm 67 years old, and I don't know when in history, in history of this nation, recent history, my time on Earth, when they decided. I remember when if you broke the law or if you resisted the law, people got shot for that. When you attacked a police officer, you better be ready to die.
All right. So
when did that stop? When did that stop?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. Federal agents shoot 2 people in Portland. How would you like to be a cop right now in these major cities? I don't know how these guys get out of bed. It's one thing when you're in the military and you're in a combat zone, you have this expectation.
They're tying their hands. They're telling them, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Well, that's BS. They can, and I guess most people know that this fellow that shot the lady on the 3rd was had been drugged behind a vehicle 6 months earlier and had like 33 stitches from being drugged by a car. I don't know what they're into all this ramming shit with, but if you're using a car as a weapon, can be a weapon if you're using it in that function. And that's what they're doing. It doesn't have to be a gun, but to me, when you assault somebody with a weapon, you're free game. You're free game up on that time.
There's a video out there that starts about a minute before the shooting happened that is from a house around there, has a security cam or
I think I've seen it
or whatever, and it showed it. There's a couple ICE agents come around her vehicle, and law enforcement got in the Tahoe that was in front of her or to the side of her, and then got back out, and then the white truck pulled up. What people need to understand about the white truck, about a block and a half back, that white truck was attacked from the rear by protesters, and the back glass on the camper shell was busted out where they have their tear gas, their flashbangs, weapons, and all that. So they were trying to flee that area to get away from the mob. And when they got to her car, she was there to block the movement.
She was the lead vehicle. She was the lead
vehicle. She initially backs up. She puts her car in drive. If she wanted to go into park, it's one notch away in that vehicle because it's a dash or steering column controlled drive mechanism in it. She could have went straight into park and it'd been over with. They would have told her, hey, get out, stay put, and she would be alive today.
But I don't think she had any idea he was going to fire on her. And what I mean by that is I don't think she thought that they would do that. And that's the problem, is they don't think that they're going to do anything.
Well,
they can just do what they want to do, and they get ready to do it. And that's what they need to get out of their damn minds.
Yeah, because so many have gotten away with using their vehicles as a weapon, with using umbrellas as a weapon, with using tear gas on officers.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is literally our law enforcement are not the military, and they need to be trained like the military at this point, because every day they're stepping into a military hostile engagement every single day.
Well, it's going to
And
end up getting to the point they're going to have to use the military. Well, here, real quick
Oh,
before we go further.
you're right. You're right.
So, look, breaking U.S. Border Patrol agents I was talking about earlier shot.
Yeah.
Venezuelan illegal aliens, Trinidad and Agua gang members during the targeted vehicle stop in Portland after the driver weaponized the vehicle in an attempt to run the agents over in a bid to flee. Earlier, they were saying it was a married couple that was doing this. They were trying to, I'm just saying this, but I think they were trying to make it sound like a,
Oh, they're trying to make it innocent. It's just a family out on an outing,
Trying to spin the narrative to we're killing American citizens that aren't doing anything.
I'm gonna tell the press sucks. The press, it just sucks.
That's all you got for the press? They suck. It's past sucks. They're no different than Vietnam and World War I and World War II. Where you had the red lady that was on the radio every night talking, "Hey, Americans, GIs."
Tokyo Rose.
There you go. Hey, GIs.
Berlin Betty and Tokyo Rose.
Yep. I mean, it's.
But that was another country propaganda. We do it to ourselves now.
Yeah. Well, the problem is we have so many illegals here. We think we're doing it to ourselves, but it's all these bleeding heart liberals, anti-American domestic terrorists.
And this stupid ass mayor in Minneapolis, this idiot who needs to be arrested for what he said.
Well, too. He talked.
He's saying that they need to read the laws. Well, they're illegal.
Look, I can't quote the border law right now, but the second your toe touches American soil, you have committed a crime. You are a criminal. They keep saying, "Oh, well, they're not arrested."
If you don't have the proper visa or permission to come aboard.
And why do so many of these people want to continue to pay for these people's existence in the United States? They have
most of the people are already on
the what?
or they don't make money to pay for it anyway.
You got so many of them, and it pisses me off. You got so many of them who say, "Well, I'm a Democrat. I'm sticking with the Democrat, no matter what they do." But you know what? You're an idiot, people. Whoever you are out there that says that.
Sheep.
And they're gonna. You know what? What they don't understand is they're not their friend. They can. As far as Islam and Muslim,
look,
if you cater to them and talk about how great they are and all that, you're not their friend. You're their tool. These
people will rape you, stone you, murder you, kill you.
They don't care about that.
Whatever they want to do, whether you're supporting them, they do. I'm telling you, they do not support you. They support an ideology that wants to see the end of the free world and all Christians. Point blank, period, done.
They got one agenda. Get rid of all Christians, get rid of all Jews. Well, get rid of everyone, Hindus, everybody that's not Islamic. Even some of them, they fight each other. Even some of them, the Sunnis and the Shiites hate each other. So, they do that deal too. But that's fine. They can go kill each other. I don't care. But and get rid of the traditional American, European. They've ruined England. I have a lot of respect for English and British tradition, and they've destroyed it.
I mean, be honest with you, we are loosely founded behind some of the British
absolutely
rules and laws outside of a queen and king. No matter what the other side wants to call our president, that gets voted on every 4 years. I'm not for monarchy or nothing like that. But the British have always been reasonable people normally in the past. But now I don't know what's going to happen there. But that Tommy Robinson? He's about the big leader of the resistance of all that stuff. And he's a pretty tough cookie, and I know he's still rattling the sabers over there to get him out of there. Look, Tommy better watch it because they want that sucker dead worse than anybody else on the face of this planet right now. If they could kill Tommy Robinson, that dude would be gone.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he's been doing that a long time. He's an Irishman, actually, isn't he, or Scottish or something?
And that new guy
Anyway,
running around the Somali daycares that are non-existent. Now, if that dude don't have a security detachment the size of the president's, he better start staying at home because they're
because he
coming.
will wade into the middle of them. He will wade into them.
Yeah, he
But
he he.
the people got to wake up. It's almost too. All this is happening because we've been so lax about stuff like this. Okay.
Well, we've been protected for so long. We've taken our freedom for granted because nothing's happened here. We've our military has been overseas fighting wars. Matter of fact, right now, while we still have a declaration of war on terror, I mean, it's kind of the first time in the history of the United States that we're not actively engaged in a day-to-day war somewhere in the world. I mean, now we've got soldiers waking up every day in a foreign country that are conducting missions that we'll never hear about.
Oh, by the way, I haven't heard them complaining. They complain about this lady that got killed in Minneapolis, but they're just raising hell about it. I didn't hear them do that when what was her name at January 6th, J6 girl that got
National
shot
Bad,
by the Capitol
Babbitt?
Police.
bad,
Bad. I didn't see a big worry about that. And what they were doing, what these people are doing in Minneapolis and Portland with these vehicles is insurrection.
far
Is
worse.
insurrection.
And what our elected leaders are doing right now is insurrection. They want to talk about Donald Trump. You're like, these people are actively calling for the National Guard to come in and fight federal law enforcement. They're
Well, that ain't
actively
over yet.
calling.
That ain't over yet. He still says he's going to do that. I don't see he's got the cojones to do it.
They're,
It's going to be
they're
a stupid
actively
move.
calling for the death of law enforcement. And then when something happens, you ask yourself, why did it happen? Well, you have blood on your hands.
Well, Tim Waltz, he's trying to change the story right now. He's trying to get everybody's mind on this because his ass is in deep doo doo because he's let all those billions of dollars leave Minnesota in fraud and go to Somalia in cash. Did you know they've been shipping like
Containers.
100 million in cash a day now over there across through the airport in suitcases from fraud, Medicare fraud, and what have you, and it's going to Somalia. How about that? That's our money. They kiss me.
There were some CBs in Iraq that came across containers full of $100 bills. And I remember one container in Iraq that was seized by the U.S. and it wound up just being parked on the side of the road. A truck had been abandoned. The cab of the truck had burned, but the container was intact. When they popped that container, and when I say front to back, floor to ceiling, was cellophane wrapped $100 bills, American. I forget how many millions was in that one container. But
Ken Walsh needs to go to prison because he knew what was going on. Keith Ellison, Attorney General, needs to go to prison. He knew what was going on.
Tim Walz, and look, you can call, people can get on here and say whatever they want about me right now. I don't care. Tim Walz needs to be brought up on sedition, fraud, racketeering, and the death penalty that they keep talking about, the firing squad for federal sedition laws. Bring it back. Bring it back.
I think I just found that video.
John Sullivan?
Yep, there it is.
The John Sullivan one? That's John Sullivan you got on there. I mean, Sullivan. John Sullivan.
We've got some waking up to do right now, that's for sure. We've got some coming to Jesus that needs to happen.
I mean, the rest of this year and next year, I don't know what's going to happen. Because, we're really rapidly, if this keeps up the way it has this last week, we're rapidly going towards some bad civil disobedience stuff going on in this country.
Think
That's
what
going to have to be dealt with the hard way. It's going to have to be dealt with the hard way.
If
this
you really
nonsense
want
with
to
the
trace
National
back
Guard
everything
and
right
versus
now,
the federal agents, that's going to be the real deal right there, and that's what's most likely going to cause a civil war. Is who's got the authority?
Well, they're going to end up killing one of these. They haven't killed one of these guys, I don't think. They're going to end up killing one of these guys, or more than one, and that will change.
think back to when this really got bad and really started making a left-hand turn was when the establishment of BLM. Before BLM was established, yeah, there was some rioting here and there. There
Well,
was,
that happened with Charlotte, North Carolina, all that bull crap.
yep. When BLM got established and all this money started funneling in to ensure criminals were getting bonded out of jail, murderers were getting bonded out of jail. Matter of fact, our former vice president was bonding murderers out of jail for committing crimes against law enforcement and citizens of the United States. That is the beginning of the end with BLM. And they are a terrorist organization. Period.
Oh,
And
feel good, pat him on the butt. Pence. That's what I call him.
every single person that has anything to do with that organization, if you donate to it, if you receive money, anyone associated to it needs to be, you need to go to their house and arrest everyone.
And Obama started all these flare up. Ferguson, Charlotte, all that stuff. He just like lighting a fuse on a bomb. He just stoked that crap up just like Waltz is in Minnesota right now, and all these
Look at
guys
the stuff that's
stoking
happening.
the fire.
All this stuff is happening during the work week. During times that people should be out
It don't
working.
work.
You take the money, you stop the funding, you'll stop the rioting. Just because as soon as you stop paying these people, as soon as you start bonding them out, stop bonding them out of jail, as soon as they lose their social media and Facebook paying them, I get a handful, a few dollars here and there for my social
They
media.
still lose their mind though because they're ignorant.
But stop paying these idiots, and they'll have to go to work, and they won't be able to do the stupid shit they're doing.
No, they'll still go crazy. They'll start robbing shit then.
Yeah, stop paying these guys and start paying us.
There you go. There you go. Start paying more attention to Saline Hardliners. Why this does not have 10 million followers, and that Nick.
They're throttling us. They're throwing. That last video we did on the Islamic Islamification? That got throttled. Facebook actually told me that they were throttling us.
I didn't. They did. When? I didn't know about that.
I got throttled yesterday.
I put a post on there.
Yeah, I got throttled yesterday. Your content is getting this, that, and which it increases your.
You know what? They can. Those.
You get monetized. It just is what it is. But I don't come on here for the little bit of money that Facebook pays me. I come on and say something because I believe what you guys are doing, and I believe in what you guys are doing, and I believe in our country. I've fought for this country. You guys have fought for this country, and I think our opinion matters. And I think what we see is happening is very factual. We don't talk about opinions a whole lot about, well, this I think is what happened. No, this is what the video shows us happened. This is what foreign entities are doing that is having this cause on the United States.
Whenever I say something like that, I say that's my opinion, my personal opinion. I don't have any proof of it.
And it
just
has
like the
an effect.
And if we do have proof, we try and put an article up there with the video.
Yeah. But you can see the writing on the wall, a lot of things, anyway, you just.
I used to laugh at my dad because Dad, boy, you're in your lifetime, there's going to be another Civil War. And this was when I was a kid. I was like, man, Dad, like.
I know. I used to hear that too.
I didn't really see racism at the time. We went to school. We had a good time. You didn't see a bunch of stupid stuff on TV. Crime wasn't crazy, Of course, I'm from Arkansas, a small rural town. So you just didn't see all that. So I was like, Dad, you're crazy. Then I leave for California, do 4 years in the Corps. And I really didn't see it then, to be honest with you. Outside of Somalia, you could see what humanity could do to its own people. But
the animals of Somalia.
Yeah, it's just
straight up. I mean, they can get mad if they want. It's straight up.
They're inhuman. There's no humanity in that country. Zero humanity in that
You know, I
country.
hadn't heard much from
Long time.
Yamar or whatever her name is up there in the representative Congress lady in Minnesota. What's her name?
Ilhan
Omar.
Omar, did you see she got removed today from the committee?
No, but she hadn't been barking a lot, has she?
Well,
I
she
haven't
got
heard
We're
her
finding
removed
say
out a
from
lot
the
about
committee
her right
today.
now.
because she's knee deep in this money leaving.
Yeah, they removed
Knee
her
deep,
from what it was, some oversight
in my
committee got
opinion.
removed from today, and there is papers getting filed on her to remove her, like they did the guy. I forget the dude that went to prison, just got out here a few months ago.
Oh, and impeach her out of the out of the Congress, kick her out of Congress.
Yeah,
She
they
needs to
are
go.
they are
She's a
on their
traitor.
way.
She's a straight up total traitor. Total
You know,
traitor.
and our forefathers did not want to see a dictatorship in the United States. You know, and at the time when
He
the
wants
United
to see
States
one.
was established, it was all foreigners that had come here and created this country, you know, and created our Constitution. But it was different. Those people came here because they wanted a better life for themselves and their family and a future outside of being ruled.
How many countries that are dominantly Islamic have been successful financially as a whole? I'm not going to say the upper crust doesn't make a lot of money on oil and stuff. Yes, but I'm talking about the country. But you can go to the Middle East, and that country may be say UAE or somewhere like that, where they're very wealthy with oil money and the upper. You know, you got the guys controlling that, but you walk down the street and you don't see it
Nope.
because it always. You know, how many African countries are successful? They just degrade themselves.
Well,
And so if you're going to let that mindset take over our country, and the first thing you're going to do is people like us three and many millions and millions others, they're going to try their best just to get rid of your ass.
Well,
and
that's
I'm
what
going to
happened with
probably
South
contradict a
Africa.
little bit of what I've had to say, because you go to like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Qatar, you know, which are Muslim
Wealthier countries.
There's no crime there. I mean, there is
They'll
zero
put up with it.
crime. But their women are allowed to drive. They're you know, people lead productive lives there. You know, they're not much of the working class there, but they thrive. Now you get into these radical countries where it has no stabilization, no stable government, and hasn't had a stable government in
Saudi, they can't drive.
you know, it just it no, women can't have passed the fourth grade
Women
education.
can't drive in Saudi Arabia because on Thursday nights they send them over to Bahrain, and while their husbands shack up with some prostitutes, they get to drive their car and wreck them all over the damn city, and they don't do anything about it.
Well,
That's
no,
a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
you can't hold the billionaire wives accountable.
I mean, they just hey, go do this while they shack up. They got to stay in the room, and then you get to drive around and wreck cars because they don't know how to damn drive.
Well, their goal is to have people that have little kids and they want to, you know, and I forget where it was at here last week or the week before. The guy, he was in the United States, was having sex with a 9-year-old child and about to marry a 9-year-old child that was a Muslim, and I forget what they call the leader of that church, but he was one of the leaders of the church and had like 17 wives, and he was getting ready to make a 9-year-old child his
Kind of like
wife.
Jim Jones or something.
Yeah, no, worse than Jim Jones. And we Americans are buying into this crap and agreeing with it.
I mean, not all Americans, but enough of them to make a problem.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't think they agree with it. I think they got that white guilt going on there. It's like, well, I don't really want to say anything because
look, I ain't got no reason to have no white guilt. If you've ever been to
you
my
know what? Americans don't pay attention, and I'm gonna put down Americans on this. They don't pay attention to things, and they don't try to take action
until it gets
after
to
it
your
happens.
doorstep.
Till it's at their doorstep. Okay, when 9/11 happened 25 years ago, 20 years, 24 years, 25 years ago almost.
Never
it,
again.
it, people are going, they're going, what the hell happened? How'd that happen? Man, it's been stoking for 10 damn years before it happened.
Can you imagine the laughter the world had when Mamdani got elected to be the next mayor of New York? And they're like, do you guys not remember what happened on September 11th?
Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic?
I mean, gee, and the guy is telling you that he's a socialist, that he's a Muslim, I mean, it's not even secretive.
He told them fight ICE. They told him. I mean, he has set the stage. I mean, things are. You think it got ugly in Minneapolis?
New York's gonna be bad, and
It'll be
Latifah
ugly.
James right behind.
Because you know what? To be honest, there's a lot of New Yorkers, and there's a lot of New Yorkers, old New Yorkers that are going to raise up on that stuff.
I hope they do. I hope
All
they
the smart
do.
ones already left.
That's the problem, is if you're not willing to stay and fight and make a difference, then it's only going to get worse, and cancer never cures itself.
They're not afraid to fight.
It spreads.
Islamic culture is not afraid. They're not afraid of that. They're not afraid to die. They're not afraid to fight. They're not afraid to sacrifice themselves. We basically are nowadays.
Well,
they'll go in somewhere. Well, and I don't want anybody to die in a conflict, but they're so naive about conflicts. Okay, we had a very successful mission in Venezuela, and none of our soldiers got killed. But you know what? They could have. It could have happened, and it may happen again. And then, and all of a sudden, it's, to them, if one of us get killed, it's an unsuccessful mission. That's not true.
Well, and it boils down to this too: who you elect matters at your local level in your cities. Now, we live with Benton. You got Bryant and Benton for years. I got Malvern and Rockport and Donaldson and some small other little towns within ours. But who you elect makes a difference. And just because it ain't in your doorstep today, it very well could be on your doorstep tomorrow. Because I'm telling you right now, Minnesota.
If they ever get Texas, it's over.
Woo!
Yeah, it may not be on your doorstep now, but could be on your kid's doorstep.
Yep. If it gets to Texas, whatever happens in Texas happens in Arkansas.
And whatever happens in Texas happens across the country. Or
number one, if it happens in Texas, they're taking over the government first election.
Look, and we got a weak governor. I mean, I'm saying it like it is. We got a weak governor. Texas, I think, has a strong conservative population, but the population don't vote. And it just floors me. Well, I don't want to vote because I don't want to register to vote because I don't want to be on jury duty. Well, then you're going to just
sit there. That's sad.
Taken. Because that's what you're watching. We are slowly watching the erosion of American values. And
it's rapidly now. It was slowly. I think it's become rapid.
It's fast right now. I mean, it is. Because now these people are saying, okay, we've got this town. Let's move here now.
I would say from.
Yeah, let's move here.
What is going on?
Hold on, that's me. I'm sorry. I turned it off.
Hello?
Yeah, no, that's me.
You want fried rice?
Is that the bat phone? Is that the bat phone?
Yeah, I have to be reminded to take my medication every night. So that was my reminder to take my medication because I didn't turn the notifications off. My fault. Hey, by the way, hottie potty tonight.
I'm for Ole Miss. I'm for Ole Miss, man. I haven't checked the score, but I'm for Ole Miss.
I haven't looked at it. It's always good being on with you guys. I enjoy being on with you guys. For everyone out there, hit that like, subscribe, follow what's going on, share, comment.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Have we had any comments tonight?
No, I've been watching it. I haven't seen any comments. And get involved in your.
We've had one or two. We get more of our views after the fact. Most of y'all.
Yeah, we haven't been consistent, so a lot of people think we're gone and dead. We just had a holiday, kind of messed up schedules and couldn't get on. But like I said, before we go, we fixed to have to go, but as scheduled, we're supposed to have. We're going to have. We should have. Next week, I'm going to be out of town. I'll be remote, and we're going to try to get Brian Norris on, running for Secretary of State, and then we're going to have Chase McDowell running for Congress. We're going to have Randy Sams, State Senate, for District 16, and we're going to have Rick Friend run for sheriff, I think on the 12th, and on the 29th there's a local town hall, candidate town hall.
Yeah,
and, which I'll be part of that. And then I think Kevin might try to get some of that on the air. We don't know yet if it works out, but
you guys have a good thing going on in Wayne County. I've attended some of your events, and you guys are very good, and your committee should be standing back up soon. And hey, just real quick for me,
that's gonna work.
I'm going to have Wade Dunn on a podcast here in the next week or two on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. I'm definitely not interfering.
I like him. I've heard him.
Yeah, I'm going to have Wade Dunn on, and which is running.
Which district is he going for?
District 26 Senate seat, I think, is what it is.
I mean, what area is that? Kind of.
Yeah, he's in the special election for Senator Stubbsfield's.
Oh, I got you.
Last year.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, hey, Mike, do a little plug-in on your show real quick. It's been a while since we talked about your show.
Yeah, I have In the Arena, and honestly, I haven't had a show off of In the Arena in 2 or 3 months. I've been focusing on local county politics. As everyone knows, I was the chairman for the Hot Spring County Republican Committee, which I resigned from in November or October. I can't remember exactly which month, because as a chairman, you can't support individual candidates running in the primaries.
Right.
And for Hot Spring County, we've got some Democrats running as Republicans. So as the chairman of the Republican Party and someone I think that is a very conservative Republican, I thought it was my duty to make sure that I supported the right candidates to get elected here. But for In the Arena, I'm going to be back doing podcast again on Tuesday or Wednesday nights. We haven't got it figured out. We've got some people we're talking to about getting on. Wade Dunn's going to get on. We'll talk, with whoever's running right now that we need to replace in Arkansas and locally. We're going to have a sheriff candidate on, county judge candidate on, Ray Cook, Kevin Cooper, which Kevin Cooper's running for sheriff, Ray Cook's running for county judge, and Diana Harris, she's running for the treasurer position in Hot Spring County. And we're trying to make sure, all three of those get elected. We're trying to unseat some Democrats that have weaseled into the Republican Party and run as Republicans this last election, but they got their Democrat signs up right now with stickers over the Democrat. So we're trying to make sure that we got good people in the right positions in Hot Spring County so we can get our courthouse back.
If everybody didn't know it, it's 26. The early voting starts February 16th. It'll run 2 weeks. It'll run up to when the election day is, which is Tuesday, March 3rd. Yep. And everything's kind of really winding up to really get going now in the primary. I don't have a primary candidate in my election for JP. I do have a general election candidate who is a Mandami lover, so we'll talk about that later. But
vote.
Everybody needs to vote. Everybody needs to vote.
In the primary, because the primaries, to be honest with you, in most of these counties, especially around
it
us,
decides
who your representative is in a lot of different.
Unless you're in Placid County or some of these counties that turn out to be blue in the general election sometimes, but majority, 90% is the primary. Yeah. So everybody needs to vote because it's very important, bud, because people need to pay attention. Yeah. And I think people are doing better than they used to do.
I think people are paying more attention now than they have.
Because you can see the trouble. It's starting to come around you now. It used to be it was kind of far away, which New York City is a long way away. Minneapolis is a long way from us. Texas is not. But all this is going to if it just, it's just a domino factor. So we got to pay attention. We about run out of time, but Mike, thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again, and we'll see you next week. We're supposed to be having a Brian Norris on next week. So I think he's a really great candidate for Secretary of State. And so till the next time, Saline County is out.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Nah.